Tojima Tonzaburo Wants to Be a Kamen Rider is a really cringy show, like these videos. But in a good way, just like how Superman was seen as lame to now being cool as f***. This show goes from being absolute cringe to actually being kinda cool. Did I mention that this anime has got a lot of tits? But this show is not all just about the cringe, it is straight up a good ass show. How good? This good. And how much good is this good? Watch till the end as I explain what the story is about. Tojima Tonzaburo is a grown ass 40-year-old man who loves Kamen Rider ever since he was a kid. He wants to be a Kamen Rider so bad that he trained to his absolute human limits and has gotten so strong that bears don't scare him anymore. He's basically the average Russian. But unfortunately for him, Kamen Riders are not real. Yeah, I know. I felt the same way when I found out that Santa Claus doesn't live in the North Pole. That's cause he lives in the South. We get a flashback that showed how he got pranked by Tits McGee and how he transformed into Kamen Rider to win a school gang fight. And then we come back to the present where he has sold all his Kamen Rider merch. And it's actually kinda sad to see. He does so because he realizes that no matter how much you love superheroes, you cannot become them because that's just not real life. Real life squishes you with the boring things like jobs and taxes, and unfortunately there are no world-destroying villains to fight against. Oh, these guys are dressing up as shockers. Shockers are basically these background air fighters you see in every Power Rangers, beating up innocents and looting stores while doing their weird little screech before they do their jobs. What does Tojima, the same man who has been obsessed with Kamen Rider and the idea of fighting shockers, do? Nothing. He does absolutely nothing about it. That is until a store gets robbed in front of him by these shockers. Instead of saving the store immediately, he first searches up another shop to buy a mask from, Kamen Rider mask specifically. And after the shopkeeper had endured a lot of beating, in anticipation, Tojima finally wears the mask. He climaxed. The goons asked who he was and out of pure joy and adrenaline he nervously shouts, "Kamen Rider!" He sheds manly tears and I did too, because what was basically denied his whole life has now been granted to him. And taking this opportunity to the max, Tojima blitzes through the goons with ease and runs away with freedom in his heart. So now one would think the anime is going to be all about delusional semi-schizophrenic nerdy dweebs going at it for 12 episodes, right? That's what I thought too, until real shockers and monsters got introduced into the story. Oh, just cause the monsters are real doesn't mean the main characters are not schizoing hard, cause they still yell transformation. But still don't have actual real superpowers. The story of this anime is great. I thought this series would just be gags, but it can take itself seriously when the plot demands it, and actually have competent writing. The comedy in this show is actually top tier. There were times when I got scolded at home for laughing too loud because of how funny this anime got. But the levels of absurdity this anime keeps on increasing is actually fucking insane. One time they'll be fighting humans, the next they'll be fighting somewhat of a monster, and then they fight an actual monster. All while doing it without any powers. I can't wait to see how much more insane this anime is gonna get. But behind all that absurdity, there's a certain level of love and respect the author has towards the original Kamen Rider series. And it shows through the main characters as they all love and want to embody a different part of Kamen Rider in their own unique ways. I never personally watched any Kamen Rider as a kid. I was more of a Power Rangers Ryukendo kind of guy, but I still fuck with it heavy. And I then came across a comment talking about how the anime is way too good compared to the manga, calling the manga straight up bad. I thought, huh. It couldn't be that bad, right? Yeah, it was that bad. I couldn't find more than 4 English translated chapters, so I didn't really bother with the manga. With that said, the anime is really good, and it might make you nostalgic just the way it made me nostalgic of the good old days when you played Capture the Flag role-playing as Autobots vs Decepticons. Good times. Still fucking cringe though.